Pentagon releases classified documents, the first batch of UFO disclosure. Man, look at this. It looks like some type of energy core is in the middle. And if you look carefully, it like leaves a trail wherever it goes. Almost like some type of etheric charge trail leading behind it.
Infrared footage from the U.S. military in 2013 shows a star-shaped object hovering in the sky above an unknown location as it leaves behind a white trail. Another image from the Apollo 17 mission to the moon showing what appears to be lights above the lunar surface. These videos are part of the 162 UFO files the Pentagon released Friday, months after President Trump directed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to declassify records of sightings that date back generations.
It's a big deal, given that 80 years, our government has never acknowledged anything for 80 years. Today, they're like, hey, check these out.
And while the documents have been cleared for public viewing, many have not yet been fully analyzed. The White House says the public can ultimately make up their own minds about the information. What's your reaction? You see this?
Wow. Very cool. It actually reminds me, if you go back into like some of the ancient civilization knowledge and symbols.
Interesting. I wonder what that piece means.
Boss also says it's nothing she hasn't seen already.
Definitely hoping for more, but I think humanity's ready, and so that's why we're starting to see, little hints of what's coming.
I'm just confused what I'm looking at.
Of course, not everyone is convinced this amounts to much. Music store DJ Isabel Applequist is skeptical the files contain anything meaningful at all.
I think there's a lot of other stuff that we're being distracted from.
Pentagon officials say this is just
the wrong files.
Beginning with more file releases expected to happen in the coming months. Infrared footage.
Guys, this is absolutely massive. Look at all the different files. I mean, each file goes so deep and there's so many of them. Look, this document goes back to 1966. Oh man, this is about to be an exciting spring and summer. I'm telling you that right now. Look, this one document is over 150 different pages. Oh man, we gotta go through it all. They have actual craft inside this thing.
The Pentagon has released the first batch of the UFO files. In the over 160 files released, there are numerous videos and pictures of unidentified flying objects and unidentified anomalous phenomena. Among them is this sketch of, quote, an apparent ellipsoid bronze metallic object materializing out of a bright light in the sky and disappearing instantaneously. It was made from eyewitness reports from September of 2023.
Documents of a materializing sphere, that's interesting. In sunlight, could be some type of camouflage like you will see on the Predator movies.
Unusual sightings from astronauts in several missions. This picture is from the Apollo 17 mission to the moon in 1972, where 3 lights are visible above the lunar terrain. Another notable one is this UFO that resembles a football-shaped body near Japan, reported in 2024. Secretary Pete Hegseth posted on X that these files hidden behind classifications have long fueled justified speculation, and it is time the American people see it for themselves. It is worth noting that none of the files prove extraterrestrial life, but they do add to speculation that it does exist.
These are real photos of UFOs captured by the FBI. How do we have them? Well, Trump just released dozens of classified files regarding unidentified flying objects and unidentified aerial phenomena with what he calls unprecedented transparency. The US War Department has revealed more than 160 files about UFO sightings going back almost 80 years. The files in the release are said to be unresolved cases, meaning the government is unable to make a definitive determination on the nature of the observed phenomena.
It doesn't look like a plane. I wonder if it can go underwater as well. Guys, it doesn't look like a drone or some type of airplane. And yeah, it looks like a star. This is some of the craziest UFO footage I've ever seen. People online are saying it looks like an Ophanum angel, some type of living organism. Just look how it moves, and the trail it leaves behind is what's blowing my mind. And the shape, everything about this. And And if you thought that last one was crazy, the Trump UFO files claim Apollo astronauts spotted flying objects on the moon. Just looking at this, it appears to be some type of holographic grid. You see how it has the light blue formations, then it goes up almost like a neon ladder. And this other one they spotted, it appears to be just some type of white orb with a red dot on top of it. Extremely strange.
The Trump administration began releasing declassified UFO/UAP. The Trump administration began releasing declassified UFO/UAP files on May 8, 2026, with officials saying additional batches and videos are still coming in the following weeks. Reports mention military footage, astronaut accounts, strange orbs, and previously unseen imagery. This is not an official video, but some reports say similar videos of alien life will be released soon.
I can find you the actual one that people are saying got leaked online. Give me a second. Extremely controversial alien interview. One half is saying it's a hoax. The other half is saying that this is from a credible source. You decide.
Here we are looking at real footage of an alien interview from the United States government. Filmed in April of 1991 by the Department of Naval Intelligence, this is a silent film that depicts a thought projection interview. Here we are looking at real footage of agencies waiting for their turn to insert a question to this being in a 2-hour-long interview. The interviews were apparently 2 hours long and conducted about once a month. So I wanted to slow this video down and zoom in for a sec and let you guys see what I'm seeing here. I noticed the muscles in its eye and the part of its head just above the eye moving. Like it gets more round and then more almond shaped, as if it's nervous or scared, and its eyes get round and wide and then more almond shaped as if it furrowed its brow like it's uncomfortable or in pain. And I swear you can see the muscles in its head moving as the eye expands and contracts. I'm going to be kind of going back and forth here really slow so you can see the motion of it moving, and then I'll go forward really slow and let it kind of play out. I enhanced the footage a little bit here. I just opened up the color settings and adjusted the saturation and the brightness a bit so I could see the distinction in the muscles moving on its face better. I just felt like even though this video has been verified to be real from people who were in the government, maybe this visual evidence could lend to its credibility too. Anyway, this is easily one of the coolest videos in the UFO community. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Alright guys, I'm gonna give you my dissertation on this. Where's the different monitors? What are you supposed to see off that CRTV back there? Where are the vital sign screens at? Maybe it has to be dark because his eyes have like those sunglasses on? I don't know. I mean, the actual story itself of them intervening because of that is absolutely wild. And you can see it like panic. Like, is it animatronic? Like, how is it able to move like this? Look, its mouth is going open. It's not doing like the same thing over and over like an animatronic would. You can almost see the panic. Like it needs to hit its inhaler. Someone throw him an albuterol sulfite, a breathing treatment, something. They said his lung sac wasn't pumping. At least y'all could do is hook up a breathing treatment. For all we know, these could be 2 medical assistants from Everest. They said, look, we're not looking for neuroscientists. We just need someone that can keep a secret. Certified medical assistants. They like, look, man, we doing our best. This alien talking to me telepathic. He needs to hit his inhaler. He can't breathe. We got no tools. It's dark. We don't know if he calling in a mothership. You see this green being pulsating. What is going on? I want you to take a look at this ancient contraption. It appears to be some type of doll, kid's doll, but when you look at the inner workings of the different gears, it kind of gives you like a steampunk Tartarian vibe that you really don't see too much, or at all, honestly. Take a look at this.
Le E, c'est la hauteur numéro 11 ici. Le U, voyez, ça va tout en haut. Le C de Neuchâtel, c'est la hauteur numéro 7. Le E, c'est la hauteur numéro 11 ici.
What language is that? French? Italian or something? Who comes up with the blueprints to design something like this? And what are these gears for? Like, does the dial actually move and talk? Or would someone get the knowledge to build something like this? Even if it was way back in the day, what else could they be capable of if they can put this much thought into a doll? That's got me thinking about airships now. You know, could this be a taste of the technology that the airships could have possibly used back in the day, you know? You know, I was looking through my book and I found the steam fire engine. It kind of resembles the technology of that just looking at. If you look at all the different intricate gears within it. You know? What's really going on out here?
Y'all are not ready for this one. The old world got smoked. This used to be a city. These structures melted buildings. There was a cataclysm, melted the whole thing down. These are petrified buildings. There was once a worldwide empire that was completely wiped out, and you can still find it if you got the eyes to see. That is a whole bridge. Does that look like a natural formation to you? Is that natural? What about here? Are we believing this is natural? You got an entryway, you got a small door, you got some rebar sticking out. I mean, that is a whole dome up top. I think it's pretty clear what this looks like.
I mean, look at the illustrations. You can see the dome on top of here. But what exactly happened if this was a building? What type of fire and brimstone type of event popped off to make it look like this and not like this? You know, this topic fascinates me. I wanted to share with you this image of that same looking dome. This image took place in the World Fair in 1893. Look how it's on the water. Look at the bridge that leads to this palace. Can you imagine walking inside there, seeing the different cathedral windows? When the sunlight hits it, you walk through, look up at the ceiling and see the different murals within this building. Look at the structure behind it. Doesn't that look like a pyramid? Some type of Aztec Mayan pyramid.
And now over here, giant castle. Look at the melted doorways. Look at the vertical saturated lines. The top of this building, you can see a spire. Now right here, come on, this one's obvious. Perfectly right angles, archways, openings, anything but natural. A lot of these places have pockets of survival, and you can see the remains, and once you see it everywhere, especially in the places that they claim were carved out of stone, like Petra or Cappadocia. Personally, I think Cappadocia could have been the real Tower of Babel. They found that this place actually goes so far as 18 stories deep, and 80% of it is still unexplored. I'm pretty sure the whole thing was above ground at one point. An advanced civilization trying to usurp God, and then we got all these different languages. Now, the structures at sites like these, they get marshmallowed, crisped, smoked on the outside, and yet inside they're completely preserved. In Psalms it says, "The hills melted like wax at the presence of Yahweh." And that's exactly what it looks like. You think they made these fancy brick arches inside, and then made the outside look like crap? And then you look at places like this, I see skyscrapers. Look here in Italy, Russia, Turkey, all the same thing. We see the same style of stacking everywhere. What we have is a real Sodom and Gomorrah, fire from the sky event. And these places melted like wax, and then likely washed away after. Now let's take a look at the Grand Canyon. Sphinx in Egypt, Sphinx at the Grand Canyon. This is a whole face on a structure. Yeah. And they even tell you all these sites are called pyramids and temples named after their false gods. Now, why would they do that? Because they know. And that's why so many of these areas are restricted. Go see my video on the Grand Canyon. This could have been the original Egypt. They lie about everything. Now, what about over here in Pakistan? It's no doubt once you see it, you can't unsee it. Something crazy happened in our past. Earthquakes.
Look at this Sphinx though in Pakistan. That is wild. It looks like an eroded Sphinx, doesn't it?
Fire from the sky, floods, cataclysms. There has been so much erased from our history, but it's all hidden in plain sight. Y'all are not ready for this one.
Westbound lanes, when out of nowhere, watch up here in the upper left-hand part of the screen, you're going to see a craft right there enter the field of view. Are you serious right now? There it is again. We're going to zoom in, slow it down, take a much closer, detailed look at this thing because we could actually see details on this craft. Unbelievable. You're going to see a light blinking on it. Then you're going to see two dull lights in the center of the craft. Once I adjust the lighting,
yeah, right,
and clarity and zoom in, you're going to be able to see a lot of features on the bottom of this thing. More than I think I've ever seen on an unidentified object in the nighttime sky. Right there, I paused it. Right there it is. So now we're going to zoom in and take a closer look with several modifications. Here we go. Wait till you see this, guys. This was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, 75 feet wide?
Did they just take a picture on that craft? What is going on?
Somewhere in the neighborhood of, 75 feet wide? Maybe 100? You can see details on the bottom of this thing. You can see the lights on the bottom of this thing. I don't think it was making any sound.
That's something straight out of Star Wars.
Here we go again. We're going to go in even a little bit closer. I slow it down a little bit more. And here in just a second, you're going to be able to see a large circle in the middle of this craft. Here we go again. Now I slow it down, zoom in even closer. Check it out. There it is. Look at the detail on that thing. Look at the crisp edges. Definitely an aerodynamic craft. Wasn't an airplane. Definitely wasn't a helicopter. Let me pause it right. Wasn't an airplane. Definitely wasn't a helicopter. Let me pause it right there. There you go. See the circle in the middle? I think this circle you're going to see right there, I think that's its energy source, that circle right in the middle. Again, very...
Yeah, when he hits it with this infrared, that definitely lights it up. Circles on the outside could be its stabilizers. And like he said, the energy source in the middle, interesting.
Crisp edges, got detail around the circle in the middle of the craft. There's lights. There was one blinking right there, as you can see. And the other ones were kind of dull, like a dull orange. There was a good look at it right there. And it appeared to be flying about 300, maybe 400 feet above the freeway, right in the middle of the freeway. I mean, what was it doing up there?
And check out what this person caught on their ring cam. Some type of paranormal phenomenon in Mexico. Crazy, it just manifested out of nowhere. It's weird. You can see the reflection hit the grass. This next one is probably one of the craziest captures of the day. Not one, not two, but 3 unidentified flying objects caught on film. That is an interesting one. You can see the gate that is chained out. What are they trying to keep people out from? And how it forms and shifts into 3. And then the color change on these orbs. What type of power structure is running these orbs? If you thought I wasn't going to hit you with another excellent magical specimen today, think again. Look at the bright green streaks just encrusted in this quartz. Man, this kind of looks like, slash marks almost. Oh, I got my name. The rating I'm gonna give this, if you're new around here, we give this a rating and a name, and you drop it in the comments. My rating is going to be a 9.3. The alien slash, like an alien slash, code word UFO files.